Well, hello YouTube. Can't get any darker than this, can you? Looks like I'm not in the hovel. As you can see by the lights behind me, I'm on a spaceship hurtling through the solar system at 43,000 miles per second. Not really, I'm in the hovel. I hope everyone's well. Just a little quick update. When I told you about my grandmother's saying, many a kind heart beats beneath a shabby raincoat, it's been updated. It's summer, so it's many a kind heart beats beneath a shabby waistcoat. When it gets to winter, it's many a kind heart beats beneath a shabby overcoat. If you're in the Arctic, it's many a kind heart beats beneath a shabby snorkel. If you're in the jungle, it's many a kind heart beats beneath a string vest. Adapt it as you want. Anyway, I'm in the dark because my overhead desk light has given up the ghost today. Fridge last week, overhead desk light this week, probably me next week. Yeah, so before we do the eBay update on terms of what I've sold and what I haven't sold, and well, no, I'm not going to tell you what I haven't sold, but you know, the figures. We've got the usual. We've got a poem, a couple of poems, I think, have we? Yeah. Some song lyrics, a couple of quotes, and it's another of the eBay banned and restricted item ones. I was going to do adult items, but I'm going to save that for last. Yeah, save the blue for last. God, my hand looks all weird. Looks luminescent. Perhaps I'm doing this video from beyond the grave. Look at my head. My face is red and my hand is white. Because that's near the white screen, you see. Turn it over there, gets a bit of colour. Look at that. Look at my hair's there. There's a bruise there. Right. Anyway. Health update. Been for another scan. That's, I think, 7 scans now in the last 3 months. MRI scan that I did 3 weeks ago. I've been mithering the consultant this week, and I finally got back. He said it's good news. See you next Thursday. That was it. But my antibiotics were running out. I didn't know whether I need to stay on antibiotics or not. Apparently, after 4 days of mithering, I found out, yeah, you've got to stay on antibiotics. So, phoned my doctors up, and they were poo-pooing it and said, well, can you get the hospital to send us a fax? I said, no. Can you phone the hospital? You've got a phone there. You know, I'm not messing about with faxes and all that. So she said, right, well, we'll get back to you. I said, well, if you're not back to me by 3 o'clock, I'm coming down. And they weren't back to me by 3 o'clock, so I went down. Spoke to the receptionist and the doctors. And she says, well, we know nothing about this. I said, well, you need to. I said, this is serious, this. You know, don't mess me about. I said, I'm not being funny, but if you don't sort me out with this prescription, I'm not going. I'm staying here. I'm having a sit-in. So, you know, if you all want to go home tonight, you need to get moving on this. So she come back anyway. She went, oh, no, you can't have that. Pointed something on my discharge notes. You can't have that. That's a restricted item. I said, no, I sold you antibiotics. That's Clexine, which is a blood thinner, and it's an injection. I don't want that. I don't need it. I'm not on it. It's the antibiotics. So she goes away, comes back. She went, right, they'll be ready for 6 o'clock. So I went away, come back, got them at 6 o'clock. So I've got my antibiotics now. But what a load of messing about this week has been just to get that sorted out. But we went for a scan this week, which was not an MRI. It was an MRV. Never heard of this. A cerebral vein scan. Because obviously when this infection came up here, it caused a thrombosis in one of my veins. Hence why I'm on warfarin. So I've had another scan this week, and I was in the scanner for an hour, and it was proper loud this time. It was like a proper rave, but without the drugs. Right, beer update. We're on the alcohol free. New one, new variety. Not even tasted this yet. Fresh out of the fridge. It's only a brew dog nanny state. Tony Blair would love this one. So he started the nanny state, didn't he? Apparently. Let's have a little taste. Hoppy, alcohol free. Oh, I'm not too sure about that one. Not bad. No, it's nice. That it's a bit like a bitter but cold. It's really nice. So that's that. Now I do look like Holly off Red Dwarf, don't I? No, I mean not my features, but the way I'm just like floating around like that. Look at that. Smeghead. Yep. Right. I feel a bit daft again tonight. So this week, our 7-day sales, 2,336. The summer slowdown apparently is here. Now, I don't want to rub salt into anyone's wounds who's having shit weeks, because I'm not like that. But we have been listing a lot of stock, and it seems to be getting us through this slack patch. The slack patch happens. Not that slack patch then, not slag patch. I don't want to start talking about dogging and stuff like that. Yeah, so the slack patch. Why do I keep saying that? I think it's the slow patch. The slow patch for us was while I was in hospital, obviously. It's got a bit of an aftertaste, that beer. It's alright though, yeah, alright. Yeah, so we did 2,336. Last week we did 2,500 and something, I can't remember now. So we're a little bit down on last week. Averaging £333 a day. So obviously still nowhere near what we want to be at, 500 a day. But hopefully we're showing a bit of progress now. That's the 6th week over 2,000 on a row. I'm expecting a bad week one week. It's got to come. Items listed. Last week we had £336,000 worth listed at retail. Now we've got 338,600, and obviously we've done 2,300 as well, so that's 4,900 quid's worth of stock gone on this week. Was it 4,900? 36 to 38, that's 2,6, 2,6 and 2,3. Yeah, 4,900. Right, so I'm happy with that. I do hope that people are listing. It's the only way you're going to get through this when it goes slow like this. And like I say, you need to judge your business really on how it does in the slow months. Forget about Christmas, that takes care of itself, and the winter and all that. But the summer, when everything's on and people are going out and spending money on other stuff, you need to get your business to a level where it's performing how you want it to perform in those months. Because if it isn't, and it's only performing in the winter months, you're going to be short of cash. So just keep listing. Our backlog is still massive. We've got loads and loads of stuff to list. Not been out buying this week, I don't think. No, not bought anything this week. Oh yeah, I have bought a little bit, that's all. A few bits and pieces. But nothing major. We spent a fortune last week. So left that, and it's been a bit busy with one thing and another. So, where shall we start now then? We've done the beer, we've done the figures. It's going to be eBay rules part 2 tonight, which is going to be jewellery policy. So we're going to go through the jewellery policy. We did clothes last week. I'm trying to do the stuff first that you all sell. And we'll save the adult only policy right for the end. You know, save the blue for the best till last. All the kinky stuff, we'll stick it on the end. Another week. I'm feeling a bit fruity. Right. So, first of all, we've got, how many poems have I got on here? I've only got 2, so I think we'll do the short one at the end. They're both John Cooper Clarke's. Now, one isn't a poem. One is an exercise in alliteration, apparently, according to John. I mean, I speak like I know him, don't I? Don't know me at all. We come from roughly the same area, but, you know, apart from that, he's the Bard of Salford, and I'm just like, you know, Some fat twat with an opinion. Right, so here we go. It's an exercise in alliteration where most of the words begin with the letter P. So it's not a rhyming poem, but it's quite hard to read, and there may be spittle on the screen. Sorry about that. But at least if I was doing it live, you'd be getting it live, wouldn't you? You'd be getting, if I was doing it in a theatre like John Cooper Clarke does, the first 3 rows would be drenched. Right, and it's called The Pest. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. The Pest pulled up, propped his push bike at a pillar box, pulled out his peen, paused at a post and pissed. Piss in the proper place, pronounced the perturbed pedestrian, and presently this particular part of the planet was plunged into a panorama of public pressure and pleasure through pain. The pandemonium prompted the police, who patrol the precincts in panda cars, to pull up and peruse the problem, while pickpockets in pairs. Arrest the pest who so pointedly pissed in that public place, pleaded the peeved people, practically palpitating. The powerful police picked up the pest, pronounced him a puff, a pansy, a punk rocker, a pinko, a poodle poker. They picked him up, pummeled his pelvis, punctured his pipes, played ping-pong on his pubic parts, and packed him into a place of penal putrefaction. The period in prison proved pitiless. The pendulous pressure of painless personality purged and prompted the press to ponder upon progressive politics and a workable prognosis. He put pen to paper and pervividly and persuasively propagated his personal political premise. Pity. A police provocateur put poison pellets in the pest porridge. The police provocateur was promoted, and the pest was presented with a Pulitzer Peace Prize. Posthumously. Brilliant that, isn't it? Love that. The pest. Oh yeah, you're a pest. Right, so that's what we've done. We've done the pest. Winston Churchill quote, and then an Oscar Wilde quote. So we'll do them next. So, we all want to be successful, don't we? We all want to be successful sellers. And one day, probably some of us might be. Not me. Somebody else. So success, according to Winston Churchill, is success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Now that's pretty good, isn't it, really? Because that means if at first you don't succeed, try again. Was that Robert the Bruce? The little spider? You remember that? Well, obviously you don't remember that. It happened in 1200s or something. But you know what I mean. Right. And then we've got another one. We might as well have 2. Because, it's Winnie, isn't it? It's the man. This must be a war quote. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory however long and hard the road may be. For without victory there's no survival. That was pretty true at the time. So we'll get rid of Winston. With respect, of course. Right, so we'll have an Oscar Wilde. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. So, this is a good one. If somebody hates you, be nice to them. But over the top nice. As he done, piss them off. They love it. They absolutely love it. Well, they don't love it. They hate it. And there's nothing they can do. I used to get this, like when you're at traffic lights and you've gone through the lights are on green, you're turning right. Traffic's coming this way, there's no filter on the lights, so you're stuck there in the middle, waiting to turn right, which is your legal right, by the way, even in a box junction. You can enter a box junction if your exit isn't clear, as long as you're turning right. Yeah. And I had that confirmed, and nobody believed me at my speed awareness course. But anyway, I'll tell you about that another day. So, you're on the traffic lights are on green, you're in the middle of the junction, wait to turn right, you've got your indicator on. The traffic's coming this way, there's no filter. Traffic goes to amber, traffic light goes to red. So you're stuck in the middle of the junction. So obviously you've got to turn on red. There's nothing you can do. You're there, right? These have gone through the lights a bit too late, so they're not giving you any time to go through on amber. They've not slowed down and thought, hang on a minute, he's waiting to turn. They've shoved through when they shouldn't have done. So you sat there and you turn. As you turn, this car from your right-hand side here can see that you're stuck in the junction and you've got to turn and you've got to go down. But no, he wants to get away because he's a boy racer, you know. He's got to get there, he's got to get home, he's got to get KFC before the shut, you know. So he beeps you. He knows you're there. He's seen you sat there. He knows that you've got to move, because otherwise nobody's moving. But he beeps you. Oh, you're in my way, I'm on green. Green means I've automatically got to go. Oh, green. Yeah, green. Gives me the right away priority. That gives you all that. All you need to do then is just turn round and blow him a kiss. It absolutely throws them off the boil, that. They haven't got a fucking clue. What's he doing? Being nice to me. Showing me disrespect. Oh no, he's showing me respect, wasn't he? Giving me a kiss. Yeah. Let's go to KFC and have a think about this. So, yeah. Forgive your enemies, because it really annoys them. So that we are. Oscar Wilde done. So, we've done Let Me... No, we didn't do that, did we? Did I do that when I started? I can't remember. Because I don't know if any of you know, because I don't mention it a lot, but I have got a brain injury. I mention it every week, don't I? I just do it to wind you all up. No, I haven't, have I? It's a Shakespeare line. Julius Caesar, nonetheless. Let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-haired men, and such as sleep on nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous. So fat guys, basically that's saying fat guys who like a good kip, you're safe. Little thin scrawny men are looking around, waiting to cause trouble. According to Shakespeare, not according to me. Because my son's thin and scrawny, and he's alright. So that's that done. Oh, I'm ripping through this tonight. We've done the pest, let's get rid of that. Right, name that tune. You know, there will be some eBay talk in a bit. Be patient. Patience is a virtue, seldom found in eBay sellers. Hence why you all put your stock on. Oh, no, not all of you. That's a bit of a generalisation, isn't it? You know, I don't like generalisations, even though I do one about every 5 minutes. And if you don't sell in 2 minutes or 2 weeks, it's automatically shit. So you've got to fucking dump it again, start again, turn over. Quick flip. Quick flip or good money coming in on a drip. Make your mind up. Still nice, that. I've not talked about my poem, have I? I'm going to do that, A Day in the Life of a Takeaway Rapper, but it's a work in progress, let's put it that way. So, song lyrics. We've got 3. We've only got 3 this week, because I couldn't find another poem to read, or I couldn't be bothered. So the first one is a rock classic, a bit like last week. Have you ever thought about your soul? Can it be saved? Or perhaps you think that when you are dead you just stay in your grave. Is God just a thought within your head, or is he part of you? Is Christ just a name that you read in a book when you were at school? Name that tune. Name the band. Pretty easy if you're a rocker. Always rock songs are always about death, black magic, wizards, gnomes, and such like things. I don't know why. They always are. Nearly always are, anyway. Bit of the old sword and sorcerer thing. I think it's because a lot of people who like rock music play Games Workshop. I think it's got something to do with that. Right, the next one. Out of bed at 8 AM. Out my head by 10:30. out with mates and dates and friends. That's what I do at weekends. I can't talk and I can't walk, but I know where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna watch my money go at the La Car. No, no. When my feet go through the door, I know what my right arm is for. Buy a drink and pull a chair up to the edge of the dance floor. Bouncers bouncing through the night, try to stop or start a fight. I sit and watch the flashing lights, moving legs in footless tights. Easy, easy that one. And the last one, because I was going to do a car themed show and then I forgot about it due to my medical conditions. So there's only one car based song. And here we go. Here in my car, I feel safest of all. I can lock all my doors. It's the only way to live in. Come on. So those are the three for tonight. So that's that done. Right, so we're going to go into eBay policies. Now last week we talked about clothes, and I thought, you know, there was quite a few little nuggets of good information there, like about the socks, and can't use the word fetish, and you're supposed to put that these things have been washed to manufacturer's guidelines. So here we are. Jewellery policy overview. Now we all like to sell a bit of jewellery, don't we? Don't we? Of course we do. People love jewellery. Well, be careful, because eBay has set up rules and regulations for jewellery, and the professional seller has got to adhere to these rules. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. So think on, you know, all you jewellery scrappers and wheel tappers. Right, here we go. Jewellery purchases can often be of high value. Well, yeah. And the specifics of the metals, stones, and method of manufacture can be very important to the buyer. Well, of course. As such, we have very detailed guidelines for selling jewellery on eBay, including specifics, so that's your item specifics, and how to accurately describe your item so the buyers know what to expect. So, not send them a diamond ring made out of, like, a washing crystal or something. A bit of tin round it. They see the picture. They want the gear, don't they? In which category should I list my jewellery item? Now let me guess. Jewellery? Probably, isn't it? Let's have a look. Our category and subcategory guidelines are defined based on specific composition of an item. So it's important to understand exactly what your item is made of before you start listing the product. For category by category details, please see our full policy guidelines below. So basically what they're saying is you've got to know what it's made of, and you've got to put it in the right category, because if you don't, you're in trouble. Dib will be on you. Right, how much detail do I need to provide? As with any eBay listing or product, the more details you can provide for potential buyers, the better. For jewellery listings and products, though, there are some specific requirements for the level of detail you need to include and where those details should be shown on the listing or the product. For example, precious metals. You must identify the type of metal, the purity of the metal in the title. Ooh, well, I've never known that. I mean, some people do put 9 carat, 15 carat gold. But that's, I never knew that you had to put it in the title as well. Item specifics and description. Similarly for fine gemstones, the gemstone creation method. Is it natural, enhanced, or lab created? Needs to be included in the title, item specifics, and the description. So they want you to put it in every section. So that's pretty important. Now let's have a look at the full policy. Jewellery. When you sell jewellery, precious metals or loose beads on eBay, you need to follow a few guidelines. Make sure you select a category that matches the item listed. Now, I know they do crack down on this if you put it in the wrong category. Make sure you provide clear and accurate information in the item description. Any listing or product that misrepresents or appears to misrepresent the true nature or value of the item being sold may be removed from eBay. So if you put silver ring and it's not a hallmark silver ring, it's a white metal ring, but you've put it down as silver because it's colour silver, they're going to have you. For example, ensure your listed product complies with all the local and international regulatory guidelines as detailed below. Right. Make sure your listings of products follow this policy and the guidelines detailed below. If they don't, they may be removed and you may be subject to a range of other actions, including restrictions of your buying and selling privileges. So again, Pulp Fiction, your LA privileges are gone. And suspension of your account. God. So it's a minefield. Fine jewellery. So fine jewellery is basically what you'd buy from a jewellery shop: gold, silver, platinum, precious stones, etc. That's what fine jewellery is. Gold settings of 9 carats and above. So I think in the UK 9 carats your lowest, but I don't know about other parts of the world. But it's got to be above 9 carats basically. And you've got to put that in the title, in the item specifics and in the description. Silver of 925 parts per 1,000. So that's sterling silver basically. Now, continental silver, some of it's 800, which means 800 parts per 1,000. 80% silver, it's mixed with something else. Ours is 925, so there's like, you know, a small percentage of another metal in there to strengthen it. So you can go, it's got to be at least 9.25 per 1,000 pure silver or above. So basically if it's a 0.999 fine silver, you're fine. If it's an 800, according to eBay, you're not supposed to put that in fine jewellery. Right? If it's a 500, same again. Some of your silver jewellery in some countries is of a very low quality. It might be 500 or below. Like such as, you know, the old coins like from 1921 to 1946, they were 500 silver. They were half silver. You must identify the type of metal and purity of the metal in the title. So I've just said that. You've got to put it everywhere. So if you sell a 9 carat ring, the title would have to be 9 carat gold wedding band, size N, say. And then it'd have to be in the item specifics, 9 carat gold. Then the description, we have a lovely 9 carat gold wedding ring here. So that's what it'd have to be. For full list of fine metals, please see the precious metals section of this page. And it's got to have a fine metal setting with lab created or simulated fashion gemstones. So if it's a ring with a stone and it's not a, you know, it's not a diamond, it's a cubic zirconia, it's got to be in fine metal setting. So it's got to be a silver ring with cubic zirconia or a gold ring, and again it's got to be above 9.25. 0.925, 925 per 1,000. Natural fine gemstones or gemstones with the optical, physical and chemical properties of natural fine gemstones. So this is what you can put in the fine jewellery. Natural diamonds. Pearls naturally formed or cultured. So a natural pearl is one that, you know, a diver goes down, he gets it and there's a pearl in the shell. Cultured pearls is where they actually sort of like farm pearls. You know, they put I think they put sand inside the oyster shell, do they? They push it in because that's what a pearl is. It's the shellfish covering up an irritant within the shell, and that's where the pearl forms around it because the little bit of grit or whatever it is annoying him, so he doesn't like it, or she doesn't like it. or they don't like it. I mean, I don't even know if they've got a sex. So yeah, so they make the pearl round it. Well, there is ways of doing that where they sort of like introduce grit into these oysters so that they make the pearls. So that's what they call a cultured pearl. It's basically a farmed pearl. For a full list of fine gemstones, please read the gemstones and loose beads section. Includes fine gemstones with costume metal settings or lab-created, simulated or fashioned gemstones accents. So if you had a brass ring, now, that wasn't a euphemism. If you've got gemstones that are in a non-precious metal setting, that can still be sold as fine jewellery as long as the gemstones are real. Or if it's a mixture of diamonds and, say, simulated pearls, it can still be fine jewellery because there's a diamond in there. But it's got to have one of them, you know. Not allowed. The following kind of items can only be listed in the costume jewellery category. Fashion metal. I haven't got a clue what that is. I didn't even know there was fashion metal. There's metal, isn't there? Set is not accompanied by a fine gemstone. Now, with that there, that means that it's not a fine metal. It's not accompanied by a fine gemstone, and it's a base metal setting. So that's costume jewellery. Lab created or simulated fashion gemstone not accompanied by a fine. So I've just said this, haven't I? They do it both ways round to catch you out. So basically, if it's a cubic zirconia ring, you can still sell it in fine jewellery as long as it's in a precious metal. Right, so let's have a look at the costume jewellery rules. If no part of the item is considered fine, the item should be listed in the costume jewellery category. To list an item in costume jewellery category, please follow these rules. I'll tell you what, how people remember all this, I don't know. Allowed. Costume metal settings such as brass. Well, I said that, didn't I? Brass ring. Cobalt, copper, iron pyrite, fool's gold, stainless steel, titanium and tungsten, or fine metal plated over fashion metal unless with a fine gemstone. So if you had a gold plated base metal ring with a cubic zirconia stone, that is costume jewellery. If you've got a gold-plated base metal ring with a fine stone, as in a diamond, that is fine jewellery. If your item is plated or filled, now that's two types. Like you get gold-plated, which is very, very thin layer of gold, like really thin. And then you get gold-filled, which is a thicker layer of gold over something. It must clearly be identified as such as your title, item specifics and description. So they want you to put it in 3 places again. Any costume gemstone unless in a fine metal setting. So again, it's costume jewellery unless it's in a fine metal setting. For a full list of costume stones, please see the gemstones and loose beads section at the bottom of this page. Any lab created or simulated unknown gemstone unless it's in a fine metal. So it's the same. So you cannot put in costume jewellery. This is what you can't put in. I mean, this is really, when you think about it, is a very strange rule. You can't put a fine metal ring in costume jewellery. Even if you were selling it for £1 and it was 22 carat gold, that's against eBay's rules. It's got to be the fine jewellery. Fine gemstones, even if they're in a costume metal setting, not allowed. Fine gemstones were accompanied by a lab-created or simulated gemstone, not allowed. Fine gemstone accents, even when accompanied by costume gemstone or costume metal setting. Natural diamonds and pearls, you cannot put that in the costume jewellery section. So basically, if a piece of jewellery's got one item that is considered as a natural gemstone or a good quality metal, you know, gold, platinum or silver, 925 and above, it's fine jewellery, even if the other bits aren't. I think that's pretty clear, isn't it? Diamonds. Diamonds are forever. Well, they're not really, because, you know, we're not forever, are we? They're here, but we're not, so they're not forever with us. It's like property. That, have you ever thought about property? People always go, yeah, get an house, get security, yeah. You know, we don't own anything. Nothing's owned. All we do is we just have it. Have it while we're here, and then when we're gone, somebody else has got it. If you're lucky, it's one member of your family. If it's not lucky, you've been carted off into an home 20 years before you die, council get it. So, waste of time. Live in a tent, join a kibbutz, or a hippie commune. Nothing wrong with hippie communes. There's many a reseller loves a hippie commune. Just ask them. Natural and enhanced diamond. Natural and enhanced diamonds should be listed in the fine jewellery category. A diamond is a mineral consisting essentially of pure carbon crystallised in the isometric system with a hardness of 10. Well, you see, now if that was Spinal Tap, their diamonds would go up to 11, wouldn't they? Because, you know, you're rocking there on 10 hardness. You know, you're rock solid. You're 10. What happens if you just need to be that little bit harder? You know, you need to scratch a little bit deeper. You need to cut something a little bit stronger. Turn the hardness up to 11. A specific gravity of approximately 3.52. I mean, how the hell are you going to know that? And a refractive index of 2.42. I'm an ex-taxi driver reseller, not a physicist and a chemist. When listing a diamond, you must include information about what type of diamond you are listing, as well as the gemstone creation method, the diamond in the title, item specifics and description. Natural. Non-enhanced. Choose this option only if you have an unenhanced natural diamond. Enhanced. Oh, right. If you are listing a natural diamond that has been enhanced, for example, it has been clarity enhanced to reduce flaws. How the hell they do that, I don't know. You have to ask some jewellery expert, I haven't got a clue. You're required to include the word enhanced in your title and to specify the enhancement in the item specifics and description. Well, from now on, I'm not selling diamonds. That's it. I'm off it. I'm off diamonds. I've never sold one anyway, but I'm not going to sell one now. Lab created. Select this option only if you are listing a lab created diamond that has the same mineral composition as a natural diamond. You're going to all get diamond testers. That's all I can think of. Accompanied by a fine metal setting, you are required to identify the diamond as lab created in the title, item specifics and description, immediately preceding the name of the lab created diamond. All lab created diamonds not mounted on fine metal or accompanied by a fine gemstone are costume jewellery. Simulated. Select this option if you are listing a simulated diamond that has the same appearance but not the same mineral composition as a natural diamond. A simulated diamond should only be listed in the costume jewellery category unless it's mounted in a fine metal setting. Really? This is for pros, isn't it? Honestly, I'm just coming across this now. Gold and silver, hallmarks, you're safe. Gemstones, experts only. That's the real deal. Chappie's real deal. Don't care if that ring's a Bobby Dazzler. As he says. He always says that, doesn't he? Mr. Mahogany. Cuprinol. King of the Cuprinol. Dickinson. Cheap as chips. Right. So, I wouldn't be touching any of these stones, even with a diamond tester. This is, if somebody gives you an INAD, gotta get an INAD. Not as described, because you didn't tell them it was a simulated stone of different composition. How are you going to get out of that one? If you do not unknown. If you do not know the diamond as being enhanced, or if it's lab created or simulated, you should consider having the diamond certified. So, you know, more expense. Business costs. All unknown diamonds should be listed as fashion jewellery category, unless mounted in a fine metal setting. So, you know. Whew. Right. If a gemstone doesn't meet the above definition for diamond, you cannot list the item in the diamond fine jewellery categories. If the mineral composition of the gemstone is different from the natural gemstone, you must clearly identify the item in such all areas of your listing and product. For example, use words such as simulated immediately preceding the use of the diamond. You should clearly describe the actual material the gemstone is made of the item, such as bryolite, cubic zirconium, diamonique, glass, moissanite, plastic, quartz, rhinestone, and strontium titanate. That sounds like something that you'd get a bloody nuclear reaction off, doesn't it? Oh, restrictions. eBay prohibits the sale of diamonds, other gemstones and metals that are sourced from countries in civil conflicts. So that's your blood diamonds. So basically, all rough diamonds must be listed as loose diamonds, and gemstones diamond category must comply with the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme. All listings of products for rough diamonds on eBay must state that the seller complies with the Kimberley process and the diamond is accompanied by a Kimberley Process certificate. So if you ever see at the auction, sometimes any loose diamonds, uncut, rough diamonds, if it hasn't got a certificate, don't buy it and don't sell it again. So there's just more about this, all this rough diamonds and the Kimberley. Oh, it's doing me head in. Precious metals, right? So this is the real biz now. Forget your diamonds. Don't bother with them. You're going to sell gold or silver. Gold of 9 carats or higher, yellow, rose or white. So you can sell yellow, rose or white gold. It's got to be 9 carats or higher. Silver 925, pure silver or above. Platinum 850 per 1,000 or above. Black rhodium, plated silver, bonded gold and silver, if gold plated sterling silver. Brass plated gold greater than 9 carat gold. Chocolate gold. What? These are all precious metals. Platinum plated, if the platinum plated sterling silver, platinum plated silver, rhodium flash silver, rhodium plated gold. Well, they put rhodium on gold sometimes to stop it staining, don't they? Rhodium plated gold and silver, rhodium plated white gold. So basically, if the metal underneath is a precious metal, it can be plated with other stuff, it doesn't matter. Costume metal is defined as costume jewellery includes jewellery made from the underlying base metal in the list and plated with a precious metal, alloy base, brass plated, gold less than 9 carat, bronze, cobalt, copper, enamel, epoxy glass, gold filled, gold foil, gold plated base, gold plated copper, horn, iron pyrite, leather, nickel, pewter, plastic, resin, rhinestone, rhodium plated base, rubber, shell, silver plated base, silver plated bronze, stainless steel, titanium, tungsten, wood, yellow gold and plated bronze. So all of them are all costume jewellery. Articles made from precious metals must comply with the Hallmarking Act of 1973 to ensure they meet the minimum standard of purity. Among the requirements of the Act, it's an offence to describe an unhallmarked item as being wholly or partly made of gold. Now, I never knew that, because you can test it, can't you? But you can't. You've got to call it. If it's not got a hallmark on it, you'll have to call it yellow metal. And you'll have to go in the costume jewellery category, according to eBay's rules. It is an offence to describe an unhallmarked item as being wholly or partly made of gold, silver, platinum, or palladium. Or to offer to supply an unhallmarked item while claiming it's hallmarked. Ah, right. Well, this is a nightmare. Describe an unhallmarked item as being wholly or partly made of gold. So you couldn't say an old piece of gold with no hallmark is gold. If your item doesn't qualify as a precious metal, be sure to follow these guidelines. List the item in plate fill category that matches your product, or choose plated or filled option to describe your item. If you're listing a fine metal plated or filled with another fine metal, it must be listed in the fine jewellery category. So if you've got silver with gold on, silver with plated with gold, that's fine jewellery. If you're listing fine metals plated or filled with a fashion metal, it must go in the costume jewellery. So if you've got gold plated plastic, it's in the costume jewellery. Right. You must clearly describe the nature of precious metal throughout your listing. You can, for example, use the word gold plated as long as the ally used for the plated is 9 carat gold or higher. You also have to include a qualifying word such as plated or filled in every mention of the word gold in your listing description. You can use abbreviations such as GF for gold filled, GP for gold plated, or JEP for gold electroplated. Stamping. Platinum, gold and silver products must meet the appropriate applicable laws for stamping. Examples of stamps. Gold stamps 10 carat, 14 carat, 18 carat, 22 carat, 24 carat. Silver stamps sterling silver 925 and 0.99. Platinum stamps plat, PT, 950 plat and 900 PT. And then we've got the gemstones. I'm not going to go into them. So it is, now it doesn't say whether this is for just new jewellery or for used jewellery. I'm presuming it's for every type of jewellery. But with a lot of the antique jewellery, it doesn't have hallmarks on it. So basically, according to eBay, you're breaking the rules there. You'd have to put that in the costume jewellery, vintage costume jewellery. And you could put, it's been tested as silver, but you're selling it as costume jewellery. Why does eBay have this policy? To improve the shopping experience at eBay, sellers who list articles made from precious metals or rough diamonds are required to ensure their listing complies with local and international regulatory guidelines. So yeah, that is that. So jewellery, there's a few little things in there that I never knew about. 800 silver, George Jensen, Danish silver. It's not fine jewellery, it's costume jewellery, according to eBay. So that is that. I hope everyone's had a reasonably good week. I do know that there is people struggling for the sales. Just keep listing, it'll pick up. I promise you. Right, so we have got the song lyrics, haven't we? The first one, have you ever thought about your soul, can it be saved? Or perhaps you think that when you are dead you just stay in your grave. That is Black Sabbath, After Forever. Okay. As again, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, Bill Ward and Ozzy. Right. Out of bed at 8 AM, out my head by 10:30. Out with mates and dates and friends, that's what I do at weekends. The specials, Friday night, Saturday morning. I go out on Friday night and I come home on Saturday morning. I think it was on the 12-inch of Ghost Town on the B-side, that, if I remember rightly. And then, here in my car, I feel safest of all. I can lock all my doors. It's the only way to live in cars. Do 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 do. Gary Newman, Cars. Don't hear much of him, do you, these days, Gary Newman? I don't know what's happened to him. So that's that. So, last poem. It's only an 8-liner, and then I'm off. After I've bored you all to death about gemstones, rhinestones, and assorted rough diamonds. It's John Cooper Clarke. It's called The Pagan. Roses are reddish, violets are bluish. If it wasn't for Christmas, we'd all be Jewish. Get born again like Ronald Reagan. No thanks, I'd rather be a pagan. And that's me signing off. See you later.